Hi there, my name is Milo Carpenter. I'll be the instructor this year for AP Language and Composition at Golden High School. This is my 5th year at Golden High School. All 5 of those years I've been teaching AP Language and Composition. Prior to 5 years ago, my family and I, we were living in South Korea. Both my wife and I as teachers, we were teaching there, and then both of my children were students in an international school in South Korea. With AP language, I usually like to start out with what these students are up against. It's oftentimes really important for parents to know why the preparation for this year is so, in some manners, it's considered extreme. The preparation for this exam in this class this year, it is daunting, and that might be an understatement. It is so much work. It's oftentimes considered one of the top 3 hardest classes at Golden High School, and for good reason. Most of that, mostly it means for the difficulty is that the exam is so difficult, but at the same time, there's such a big reward at the end of it. If the students will sit for the AP exam and they get a qualifying score, which is a 3, a 4, or a 5 on the exam as a whole, depending on the university that they go to, they end up getting college credit for it by taking it in high school. That's for many people, the reason that they take AP language. I'll tell this story to the students really soon, but my son, he just started university. He just sent me a text, and because he took AP language his junior year and AP literature his senior year, and you can do them in either order, he got qualifying scores on both of the exams. He doesn't have to take a single English class for his associate's degree in university. He was able to skip all the way through it, and that freed him up to take on some of the other classes that he wanted to take pre-major for him. And so he skipped a great deal, and for parents, that's a cost-saving piece. It's one of those things where the students going through right now have to go through quite a bit, but the reward then is they get a college level course, but they also have an opportunity for college level credit. And we don't have a lot of those opportunities. It's a difficult class, make no mistake about it. So let's start with the exam. You can see it on your screen. Last year's exam, last year's exam was strange because we were kicked out March 13th. AP had to do something just a little bit different. And when they did this just a little bit different, they had only one question for the exam itself. And doing one question for the exam then gave the opportunity, the multiple choice and 2 other questions, they were completely removed. That was daunting for students because if you're good at one question, well done. If you're not good at that one question, you didn't have all of the other questions to help you out. And that's also pretty difficult to put a lot of stress on one question. The students did fine. The students on average all the way through, they did really, really, really well. And they did that because they stayed to the course all the way through. I'm heavy on communication. They'll get an email from me all the time. Those emails are reads on their own. What should be this year's exam is what's in front of you. They should sit down for 1 hour of multiple choice. When they sit down for 1 hour of multiple choice, it goes over passage-related questions. After that, they go into what's known as the synthesis question. They will have a 15-minute reading session where all they do is annotate readings. And then from there, they have a 40-minute essay to write. And that's the key, is that 40, 40, 40. The 15 minutes, they have to get really good at reading. And so we read so much during the year so that we get really good at reading. And then they have a rhetorical strategies essay. It's a 40-minute question all about rhetorical terms authors used and the effect of those terms. This was the question that they went with last year on the exam. It's the hardest of the 3. And AP made sure that the hardest of the 3, if they had to cut it down to a single question exam, they were going to make sure that the students that passed it, that they were qualified for getting that score. So they went with the hard one. And then they go to the argument question. The argument question is a 40-minute essay based on a tiny little passage, and then their ability to connect it to a lot of the sources. This class is a source-based class. I will give them this huge library of sources so that they can go through this. I don't know what this year's exam is going to look like. I'm going to prepare them for this exam that they can go through 1 hour, 15, 40, 40, 40. I'm going to prepare them for that, and anything less than that is just less than that, instead of preparing them in another direction. I don't know what AP is going to do. They haven't put out their schedule yet. I don't think they're going to do a 1-question exam again this year. I don't think it's possible for them to do that. And so they're going to put it back on teachers in order to get us all the way through. But whatever does happen, their adaptability and their flexibility is going to be paramount. And that leads to this last piece. This class is both a class for preparation, but it's also a class for thinking. We do so much work in reading and writing, and then they go through this process of speaking, that they begin this thinking pattern about the things that they're reading. They start to apply their thinking into their writing. They then start to talk about what they're writing, and all of this is based on what they're reading. The variety of reading is massive. What they're going to go through, that big library of sources, it will get them well prepared to answer any question that is actually asked on the exam. That's what the class is based on, and it's traditionally why students do extremely well on the exam. And then this last part, this creativity in many forms, to include the ways this class will be taught and attended. As we speak, there's some tinkering still with the schedule that is going to happen. We know that students are going to be in an online capacity for 2 weeks, and then they're going to go into a bit of a hybrid model, and on and on and on. We can't predict cases. We know that sometimes if we have some issues in our school, that we're going to be out for 48 hours. Sometimes we may be out for 14 days, but being and sitting and having conversations like this, many times it will be the way the students have class. All of this will be given to them in email. In their email, following directions is going to give them the opportunity to attend, in quotes, to attend class the way class needs to be attended. And then from there, they can attend to class the way class needs to be attended. So thank you for your time. I look forward to meeting them in whatever capacity the students are about to arrive. I look forward to the year. It's such a beautiful year. You start to hear students thinking in different ways and talking about different things. We have a lot to cover, a short amount of time to cover it, and a variety of avenues and arenas in which to cover it. So thank you. I look forward to this year. I look forward to the students doing really well in the year and then on the exam as they start moving forward. Thank you, and enjoy your year.